Today we are cozied up in the kitchen and we are already doing some holiday baking. Call me crazy, call me what you will. We have completely bypassed Halloween. Not really a holiday we celebrate anyways. I am, preparing for Thanksgiving, but the girls and I were just in a Christmas mood. We wanted to turn on Christmas music. We wanted to pretend like it was cold outside, even though that was not the case. And so we decided to do all the things. I was actually reflecting back this week on my childhood memories of the holidays. You guys know, like traditions and things like that. It's very, very sentimental to me. I really want to prioritize creating memories that my kids will take with them for their, lifetime and pass down to their kids. And so I was telling Charlie about some of my fondest childhood memories around, the holidays. And every Thanksgiving, we would go to our mom and papa's, and my cousins would travel in from California. They made like the 2 to 3 day trek, and we would get a new ornament every year at Thanksgiving. After we had Thanksgiving dinner, my mama would pass them out. And you guys, I am still hanging those ornaments on my Christmas tree to this day. And every Christmas, my mama would go in the kitchen. She'd make homemade hot chocolate. All of the grandkids would climb up on the countertop, and we would make tea cake cookies with my papa. And you guys, these memories are ingrained in my mind for eternity. I can't tell you what we ate. I can't tell you the conversations that we had, but I remember every year longing for Mama's homemade hot chocolate and to get with my, cousins and make tea cake cookies with Papa. And those memories I'm trying to create as well.
Hello everyone, cheers to Friday. If you cannot tell by just the first few minutes of this video, we are in a mood here in the Reagan household. Girls, what mood are we in?
Fall and Christmas. And Halloween.
Well, we've kind of bypassed Halloween, not really a holiday we celebrate, and we are in full-blown fall Christmas mood. I've got my Christmas playlist on, the girls have their aprons tied on, and we are doing some holiday baking. So we're starting with Mama's nice cup of French press coffee. So the girls and I are going to whip up some homemade hot chocolate for them, and then we are going to be making some cookies.
Cookie.
We're going to be making some Dutch pancakes.
And we're going to make some hot chocolate.
Some hot chocolate with some homemade marshmallows. Now this might be a disaster. Never made these marshmallows before, but we're going to try it. We're going to test it out, and we are just going to enjoy this time in the kitchen. So before I get started, I will mention we are doing the marshmallow and the hot chocolate recipe, the Holidays on the Homestead Cookbook. This was a fun collaboration I was a part of with just a bunch of Homestead mamas, which was really cool. I've been having a really good time diving into this in the morning, looking at different recipes, and I came across these two and knew pretty immediately I wanted to make them with the girls. So this is a cookbook that you can buy the digital version of it or the printed version of, which I absolutely love. It's available for 1 week only. You can get this resource. It's got over 50 recipes, 20 articles, homemade gifts ideas, literally just packed full of so much beauty and inspiration. So if you guys want to learn more about the contributors, you want to know more about the recipes, get your hands on one of these holiday cookbooks, you can check out the link down in the description below. So we are going to get started on this hot chocolate and get baking in the kitchen today, but I hope you guys will stick around because I have a very important topic I cannot wait to chat with you guys about.
Help me.
Oh, you fell. Okay, let's see here, Junie. Alright.
Help me.
Okay, you should be able to sit down
I
now.
can't. Help me down.
You good?
I
You
fell.
fell? We gotta be careful with that. Okay.
I guess I was too close.
You were too close. Alright. Let's see real quick.
kitchen with the girls baking, I was really able to just observe. You know, the girls are at an age where, you know, Charlie can read a recipe, and we were doing math and making this, you know, tie into our homeschool day. But the kids are at an age where they actually really can't help, you know. And I was watching them do all these tasks independently, and then just asking me periodically for help or, you know, measurement, things like that. And I realized that, you know, these humble moments that I'm spending in the kitchen with my kids, like, nothing spectacular, right? I mean, we're making cookies, hot chocolate, like, it's just a humble, you know, another day really to them. But I'm realizing that these humble moments with me in the kitchen will actually form the foundation of how they view their roles as wives and mothers one day. And when you think about that, wow, you know, they will know that a nurturing mother spends time in the kitchen with her kids, that she prioritizes creating moments, creating traditions. She sees how Nathan and I interact together, how we problem solve together. And you guys, that just kind of wrecked me in every way. Obviously, we know as parents, our role is to raise and steward our children. But when you think about how we treat them, also affects and forms the foundation of how they will, you know, look back on, you know, how to treat their own children. And they'll have these memories, those flashbacks, just like I did when I got ready to make hot chocolate with my kids. It brought me back to that foundation that my mama built with me in the kitchen on, this is how you love and steward relationships, or at least that's how my mama did, which is also very similar to how I do it. When I thought about that, man, it put a lot of things into perspective. It allows you to kind of lay down your unrealistic expectations. I feel like oftentimes when we want to create these memories, we put unnecessary weight on them. You know, it's going to take longer. So you just have to strip that away, strip down these unrealistic expectations, and just really know that what you're doing, what you're creating, is forming the foundation to what they will then one day create. So I really just wanted to chat with you guys about this, and it came in such a timely manner. I mean, I had all intentions of doing this with the girls this week. I just knew we needed intentional time in the kitchen together. But I happened to come across something this week on the internet. Every good story starts that way, right? And I'm one of those people, like, everyone has their own opinions. They have the right to have their own opinions. You will never see me comment my opinion on someone else's opinion. But this one thing I saw struck me, and it just made me realize what a sad place we live in. And it was all about convenience, right? Now, spending all day in the kitchen with my kids is not at all convenient. Making, hot chocolate from scratch is not convenient. Making marshmallows from scratch is not convenient. I could certainly get in my car, drive to the store, and buy this. And we could have instant hot chocolate and marshmallows in literally a matter of probably 90 seconds. Instead, the girls and I literally spent all day in the kitchen making these things. And that's valuable. That's valuable because the truth is, we live in a generation that has prioritized convenience over intentionality. They don't care what the label says. They don't care what ingredients are in them. They don't care how that is going to affect their children, their family, their health, their well-being, their mental state, the longevity of their life. They don't care about that. And, this thing that I saw on the internet really spoke to that. It was a lady, eating an apple and talking about this desire to be healthy, and then the kind of scene changes and she's like, psych, just kidding. We need to not be so judgmental. Convenience wins every time. And then it was her counter full of, boxed foods, processed foods. And while I am not judging anyone, because how you choose to live is certainly your decision, I do think it is our responsibility to speak up, not only in our households, but speak into our children directly and explain to them why we aren't just going to buy instant hot chocolate, why we're not buying those marshmallows from the store. Like, why is it important for us to create and make these things ourselves, even if it's not convenience? And it's because convenience is killing us. It's killing tradition in the family. It's killing intentionality within the home. It's stripping away just nurturing conversations with your children. Convenience is completely overrunning and overtaking the modern family. They don't sit down together at the dinner table. The phone's usually always present. They don't light the candles. They don't hold hands and say a prayer. Like, convenience is killing us in so many different ways. And at some point, many of us have to say, you know what, we're going to speak up against this. We're going to speak out against this. We're going to tell our children, you know what, I understand that this might be what you see around you. I understand that we might have friends or even family members that choose to do these things, but we don't, and here's why. And one, from a gardening and farming background, gosh, we need to kick convenience because we know that our food system is broken. We know that there is hardly any value in what they're selling us on the grocery store shelves, especially if you go down those middle aisles, right? So we understand this in a lot of ways of the importance of growing our own food. While that's not always the most convenient thing, it certainly is the most valuable thing for my family particularly. And the truth is, whether we like it or not, we have to prioritize these conversations if we value the integrity of the family unit. And for me, I thought about, as I was, telling Charlie the story of my childhood with my mom and papa. I mean, her eyes were so big. She was captivated by every word I was saying, hanging on to it, because we long for that. We long for those slow days in the kitchen. We long for homemade cookies. We long for a hot meal on a table by candlelight and joining hands and saying prayer and showing our gratitude. We would have none of this without God. We wouldn't have the life that we get to live without the blessings that we've had on our life. But we get so wrapped up in the convenience of it all and the busyness of it all that we don't even take time to show our gratitude in these areas.
All right, y'all, while the marshmallows are hardening, I have got the kids wrapping up lunch and school, and then we're actually going to move on to the next thing that we are making. We're going to be taking this with us on our camping trip. Ziggy, are you talking? And so that is a brown butter spiced maple cookie with white chocolate drizzle. It is also in the Holidays on the Homestead Cookbook. So while the girls are finishing that up, I'm just, browning the butter, letting it come to room temperature again, gathering all of the ingredients, and then I'll actually let them mix it all together. These look fantastic. Unfortunately, I will not be able to try any of the stuff we made today. I have been doing a detox, so for the last 4 weeks, I've been off of gluten, dairy, and sugar. I plan on doing a video kind of chatting through that whole process with you guys, how I came about that, why I'm doing this kind of reset. But I will say, if the picture is any indication to how these taste, I think they're going to be amazing. Let's take a look. They look amazing. I just don't want to take them out premature. Look at that. So I'm kind of feeling the sides of these, and they feel pretty stiff, like I could probably cut into them, but
Y'all, I just don't want to mess it up. The kids are so looking forward to this. So I'm actually going to go ahead and we're going to make this up because the dough needs to sit for about 30 minutes. While the dough is chilling in the refrigerator for those 30 minutes, we'll come back and cut into these and finish up our homeschool day. So I'm just going to let them sit a little bit longer. This recipe, though, is super simple, very just humble ingredients. You got butter, brown sugar, maple syrup, vanilla, eggs, flour, salt, baking soda, and then spices. So pretty humble cookie recipe, one that I keep all of the things in the pantry, which is always nice. And we're going to whip these up real quick and then wrap up today's vlog. So I encourage you all today, don't let convenience win. Now, when it comes to how convenience can kill us, my gosh, I could hop on the soapbox of our broken food system because that is the number one way that convenience is killing us, literally killing, like physically killing us with the toxins and the chemicals and just all the things that are in our food system. So I cannot, one, preach and encourage enough the value of growing your own food, being intentional with the food that you're feeding your family. But there's so many other ways that we as mothers, as fathers, caretakers need to speak up in our homes and not let convenience kill us. Do not let convenience rob your family of traditions. Do not let convenience strip away relationships with your kids. Like, what happens when our kids grow up one day? Will there be a home they come home to that they want to? Will there be moments where they pick up the phone and they want to call mom and dad because we built this beautiful relationship? Or will they look back and it be, well, we were so busy running from sport A to sport B. We never had, family meals. We never had intentional times playing games, playing cards. We never went camping. Like, what if they have no memories other than just the chaos and the busyness that we said yes to because it was convenient? When you think about that, I encourage you guys, just pause for a second and really think about that. Is convenience killing your family? And is it worth it? And so for me, for Nathan, we've had to lay down a lot of things. We've had to say, you know what, for the sake of convenience, for the sake of pleasing other people, we're choosing to say no. And that might upset some people, but the truth is, I really don't care because it's my job and my responsibility to nurture those within my home. And I'm doing that the best way I know how, spending intentional time with them, loving on them, growing them the best food. Nathan's cooking them the best food. And so I just encourage you guys so much today. If there's those convenient things that you're doing, we all do them. I'm speaking to the choir. But if there's any of those convenient things that you could trade or swap or say no to that would give you more time with your family, that would allow you to provide for them in a better way, fuel them more intentionally with healthy ingredients, you guys, I encourage you today, say yes to that thing. Lay down those unrealistic expectations and just say, you know what, we're going to do it messy today. It's going to take a little bit more time. I'm going to have a really dirty kitchen at the end of the day or whatever it is that you're doing. And just tell yourself that it's worth it. Because while yesterday was exhausting being in the kitchen, I was dripping sweat, I had a baby strapped on, it took forever. I laid in bed last night and I thought, wow, what a good day. And I woke up this morning to Charlie still talking about it and reminiscing over what we did yesterday. And that was so special.